What's going on, guys? Welcome to live session with your boy Franklin. Right, if you're watching this, if you've bumped into this video for the first time, thank you for stopping by. If you do get to the end of this video, be sure to give me the like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and look through my playlist. I've also got food recipes, okay? And show your love, man. So, yeah, let's crack on. Ada's Corner. What's going on? Yeah, this is live. This is Andy. What's up, Edith? David Osilaja. What's going on, everybody? Yewande Braids. Hit the like button. Hit the like button if you can see me. Umar. What's going on, everybody? Good evening. Oh, where's my hair? Yewande. I had a haircut, man. I had a haircut, The brother just tried to look a little fresh. You know what I'm saying? Good observation. Good observation. Right. So, Solomon, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining. So this session, right? Basically, this is an email from someone, one of you subscribers, and this lady basically has been on my case and said, Franklin, please, make this video. Please make this video, and she wants people to um, hopefully learn from this. I wanted to talk about, I'm not sure if some of you know this, particularly people based in the UK. I wanted to talk about the ongoing issues about SPAC Nation. I'm sure you probably must have heard. Some of you might be aware. So I'll talk about that tomorrow, later on in the week, anyway. But this one, that lady has begged me, and I felt some type of way because she sent me emails like 3 times and say, Franklin, please make a video about this. So anyway, here we are. So I'm going to give you a quick background so that you get what the gist is about. So, it's the classic immigrant, story. This lady has been in the, UK, how she got here, you can sort of just figure out and read between the lines yourself. So, long story short, for a long time, lived in the UK, she lived in the shadow of the system, had to survive on several, odd jobs and stuff, and to survive, to stay afloat, like many other. Uh, what do you mean, Jesus? She don't cut your hair. Who did? I went to a barber shop, bro. What's up, man? Barber. I told the barber make it really low. Anyway, sorry about the distraction. So this lady been here in the UK. If you're just joining, hit the like button. Hit the like button. So she basically has been struggling, kept her head down, has been sending a lot of money, even though she hasn't got papers here in the UK. As most immigrants do, I'm sure a lot of you people watching this are familiar with this already. People constantly send money home. Everyone has got one family, kids, parents, cousin, sister, brother, nephew, constantly asking and relying on you. And some of you might have traveled and you have kids back home in Africa. So those are your responsibilities. Some might even have wives, some might have husbands. So everyone has got a truckload of responsibilities in the nutshell. So this lady, like many other immigrants, has been trapped in the UK without papers for so long, has been in the shadow of the system for more than 12 years, about roughly 13 years, has had all sorts of dirt thrown at her, done all sorts of ridiculous jobs you can imagine just to survive. Now, in the course of the 13 years of being in the shadow of the system, being in the back burner and stuff, um, she she basically has been sending a ton of money back home. And I must say this before I crack on. It's a common knowledge within the immigrant, community when people grind and work so hard. On top of all that, you deal with the. Why is my nose very itchy tonight, man? The devil is a liar. What's going on? you know, um, the a lot of immigrants work really hard, some with two, three jobs, all sorts of cleaning jobs. Some wake up very early in the morning, in the middle of winter, in the middle of summer, running from pillar to post just to make ends meet, right? That's a common knowledge. People graft. Now, she said over the years, then she met this man and stuff, the love of her life, who they both have been, sending money, um, basically sort of amalgamated. Somebody's saying your nose is missing your hair already. You're distracting me, man. So she met her man here. They both had no papers for so long, but they worked and worked and worked tirelessly. Now, over the years, they've been in the shadow of the system. They've both been sending money, funneling money home. And this story, right? This story, I'm sure a lot of you watching this can relate to this because this is a common occurrence, sadly, in our community across Europe, the US, everywhere. But I will never get tired of sharing these stories because it's very important that people like me use my platform to constantly push this out. If I end up educating at least one person, I think I would have done a great job. Okay? I also learn from these stories, even though a lot of them are heartbreaking. So, as I was saying, eventually, after a long time, made applications to the UK immigration, UK border force, and whatnot, she managed to get her papers, right? So bear in mind she'd been here for about 13 odd years, right? So in that time, she said over the years, she had sent all the monies that she spent, sent home to try to buy land and build, properties and stuff, herself and her husband, who both didn't have papers for a long time, with two kids in this country. And she said approximately about £45,000. And that's her being conservative. She said if they really put pen to paper, it's a lot more than that, right? And she said they then got limited leave to remain here in the UK recently. And then herself and her husband, limited leave to remain, for those of you watching, if you're an American or you don't understand what I mean by that, that's the sort of papers that people get whereby they might give you 2.5 or 3 years. You then have to renew that limited leave to remain. In some cases, if I'm correct, you have no recourse to public funds, and then you have to renew that maybe 2, 3, or 4 times before you can then apply, as long as you meet requirements, apply for indefinite leave to remain, which some people call permanent residency, right? So, and God forbid, if you commit crimes along the line, you might become ineligible for permanent residency. They might use that to kick you out of the country. So it's always a very hard and difficult journey for the typical immigrant, if you get what I'm saying. So she got the limited leave to remain. The same thing was given to herself and, her husband. And she said the kids, unfortunately, cannot become, automatic. They can't get their citizenship. I think she said, if I'm correct, forgotten in the email, I think the children have their British passports already or something because they were both born here, or they don't have it yet because both them, sorry, they don't have their citizenship yet because she said because both dad and mom, particularly the mom, she didn't have a permanent residency at the time of their birth and stuff. So I think the firstborn had on when the firstborn is a 7 year old or something. It's a quite a lengthy email. Anyway, cracking on. So they got about 3 or 2.5 years limited leave to remain, and that's sort of like a good news, right? So they thought they'll make a trip to Nigeria. This is Nigeria, right? To sort of give a surprise visit to both sides of the family, the husband and the wife's family, after donkey years abroad, to go and surprise them and then see their properties, see their houses, da 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 da. Mind you, this woman said she has a CFO, certificate of occupancy, which is the topmost document you can have on a piece of land. She has paperwork and everything relating to the properties built for her that she believed was built for her, right? So long story short, got to Nigeria as a surprise visit, got one of our cousins to pick her up at the airport with, husband and two kids. You can imagine you're going home to see your parents and, your siblings that you've been giving money to for donkey years. And then, long story, this happened in Ogun State. For those of you watching, Nigerians would know what I'm saying. If you're a non-Nigerian, Ogun State is, one of the lovely states in the southern part of Nigeria. That's all you need to know for now. So she got to Ogun State and then found out, long story short, that all the documents that she had in relation to the piece of land, the properties, and the procurement of other, properties for was it pieces of land for her husband and stuff. Everything turned out to be fake. They've been given all sorts of forged documents. So she then realized, of course, shit hits the fan, everything went crazy, and then it became a major, major problem, major collusion and stuff. So in a nutshell, this lady and her husband found out. Now, this is where it gets even complex. Not only were they fleeced of approximately £50,000 that they've been remitting for a long time, not only they then found out that the lady's mom and dad, and I think one of her siblings, were actively involved in the scam. Her husband's mom was also actively involved in the scam. So, of course, the behavioral pattern, um, the behavior. You guys just want to listen to stories. Love you all because you're all my family and friends. Okay, that's a bit weird. Anyway, so the behavioral pattern is you try to get the police involved, try to make arrest, and believe me, this is the layer of complexity that you're usually faced with in Africa. The corruption is absolutely unbelievable. In the heat of the moment, according to the email, there was a lot of exchange of words, and you can imagine. I mean, I put myself in the woman's shoes, herself in their husband's shoes. I would lose my cool. Thank you, Laknot Ra Shop. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you, bless you. And it would be like World War III in that house. I would be raging, and very rightly so. That's all unfortunately, where do you want to start from? Because the harsh reality in most cases, you may never be able to recover from that huge and catastrophic loss. Okay, it's shattering, it's heartbreaking. So, and then the mother said in a very very rude and arrogant way, yes, so what? Yes, so what? What are you going to do about it? Blah blah blah. I'm your mother. I gave birth to you, a self and a dad. Man, people do get killed because of this type of behavior. I'm not advocating for anyone to commit crime or obliterate anyone else's life, but people have the audacity to even say so what to your face. This lady said she's cried, she's heartbroken. They came back on the flight back to the UK with her husband and two kids. They cried. Rosemary, thank you so much for the contribution. Bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And she said she cried and cried. She's so heartbroken. It's basically torn her apart and, so really distraught. Now, that's the story. So now this is Frankleen's own interpretation. You know what? These things are common knowledge, unfortunately. And if for those of you that are conversant, that are sort of old on my platform, that are used to my content, you would know that I am the type that I talk about this topic quite often. I've got content in the past that you find on my channel where I've talked about stop giving your family money protect your resources. Now, the truth is, you cannot knock someone for trusting their parents, for trusting their brother, okay? For saying, a 3, 4 jobs, I'm at the bottom of the barrel in the society, I'm leaving in the shadow of the system, I haven't got papers, I'm trapped, but I'm making the best of the situation. I'm not sitting on the pity potty, get my bloody hands on to put money together. And don't forget, these people are constantly asking you for money, begging for alms, and a lot of the time it's emotional blackmail. And you are basically trying your best to make sure you give money to these people, put a smile on their faces. You feel guilty 24/7. This is why I say to people, because let the truth be told. I always say, I don't know what age band you managed to travel abroad. Some people traveled abroad when maybe they were in their late teenage years, some in their early 20s, some in their mid 20s, some in 30s, some in their 40s. I've seen people that traveled abroad for the first time in their early 50s. So it's also very important to consider what phase of life you are in, what age you are in, because if you make a silly mistake in the name of sentiment, in the name of overly trusting people, families particularly, and you take all your resources that you've worked so hard for and you put it in the hands of the totally wrong people and they manage to fleece you, you may never recover. People end up depressed. This is real life. People end up, look, I get what you're saying. I digress. Rosemary said they should be held accountable. You see, I agree with you 100%. I want justice for these people like yesterday, right? I would crush the bones of those culprits. People are very cold hearted, but one of the common things in Africa, you have got to be very smart when you approach this. You know, when you corner these people, when you catch them red handed, right? And they realize that they've been busted, they just go from zero to there. Pow. Do you know what I mean by that? Because they know they've been exposed, the next thing is they are plotting to take your life. And the reason they duplicate to your existence. So it's very important to be very, very clever about how you deal with these people. They're very evil, they're very callous. I've heard numerous stories. This is why I try to use my platform to constantly educate people. First of all, protect your money, protect your resources. Now, investment is very, very good. You want to build a house, maybe to rent and stuff. You want to look, if you're living abroad, before I carry on, maybe you're still trapped abroad, you're unable to travel back home because of the usual stuff. You've not regularized your status, you're dealing with that, so you are like, you're desperate. There's no need to be desperate, right? You can actually approach any of these major banks yourself, email them, find out, ring the customer service, open your bank account. If you feel like benefiting from like treasury bills back in Africa, like good fixed deposit accounts and stuff, put your money in those accounts. What I'm saying is, put your money in a fixed deposit and you can log in here in the comfort of your home and look at those monies and just protect your funds, protect your assets. Which one is better off? Imagine if you haven't got papers. Yourself and your husband have managed to save roughly £50,000. That's a whole lot of money. Even people with papers don't have, a lot of people abroad with papers don't have £50,000 saved. Let's not get it twisted. Tons of people abroad with British citizenship, US citizenship. I've got a German passport. I've got a French passport. I've got an Italian passport. Whatever, whatever, whatever. I've got master's degree, blah, 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 blah. I'm an IT consultant. Tons of people with papers abroad don't have £50,000 to their name. And that's a fact. That is a fact. So if you've done well for yourself and you've managed to save, to deprive yourself of designer wears, having the fancy things, having nice cars, having some people, I've seen people that live in one room abroad. They're trapped in just one room in a shared house. They don't go to parties. They've only got two pair of shoes. They barely buy anything. They are minimalists. They have three jobs. They are constantly working. Their health is at stake, and they just stash money. Imagine you go through that for a long time and you put your money in the hands of thieves that really don't give a toss about you. All because, oh, it's my mom, it's my dad. Nah, bro, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself, man. How many people you know with 50,000, with permanent residency? Oh, I'm a Canadian citizen. Oh, I've got indefinite leave to remain. Oh, I'm a British citizen. Can boast and say, I have £50,000 saved. Trust me, it's a lot of money, man. This is why I constantly use my platform to educate people. Protect your money, protect your resources with every goddamn fiber in your body. Because if they fleece you, you may never recover for the rest of your life. You will cry, you will fight. Don't get me started on the judicial system back in Africa, in Nigeria particularly. The level of corruption is out of this planet. Like I said, and when they see that you are resisting, you're fighting, you're trying to do everything to get justice, they plot to kill you. They plot to take you out. I don't do sentiments. I read this email, I try my best to compress it on the live sessions, and my heart was totally shattered. It's painful. And she actually said to me at the bottom of that email, she had 2 death threats from some of the extended families when things got really heated up. Would you rather have your money in a fixed deposit account, government treasury bills, bonds and things like that, and watch your money give you really juicy, tangible, yearly returns, your money's safe, and then when you're ready, get on the plane? There's nothing wrong with building in Africa. There is nothing wrong with setting up businesses. I've been saying this. But you've got to be in front of your affairs. You've got to be in charge. You've got to protect your resources. If you must enjoy the fruit of your labor, you've got to be in charge of your projects, your investments. If you apply sentiments, some people, a very tiny fraction of people, a very tiny fraction of very lucky, are blessed. You might have a brother who is really loyal, You might have a sister who you can say, help me build that house, and she builds the house. The number of people that are very honest, very, very infinitesimal, very tiny, very tiny. Some people, they are loyal when you deal with them with very small amounts. The moment you scale the money up, the mask comes off. It's human nature. It's human nature. I've watched people become depressed, get trapped in health problems, and you've spent your younger years working, striving, banging your head in the snow, putting up with daily microaggression that stems from living abroad in a culture where you're not exactly accepted because of the color of your skin. I've watched people slave away, work tirelessly, and then lose everything to unscrupulous family members back home. This is why I say to people, I am not advocating, because there are always some simple-minded people that watch my content. They don't pay attention. They lack the ability to comprehend stuff. They'll be like, oh, Fleeced, so are you saying we should not take care of our mommy and daddy? Fleeced, are you saying we should not give money to our families? If you like, take your savings, take everything you worked for, give it to your brothers, give it to your mom and dad, and let them rub you blind. Don't come crying to Fleeced. Because some people are always coming here to say, oh, Fleeced, so you are telling me not to take care of my mother that carried me for 9 months? Nye, 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 nye. Okay, okay, okay. Take all your life savings and give it to your mom. Then you would know that your mom is actually a gangster on the inside. It's human nature, man. Protect your resources. Protect your resources. Don't apply sentiments. That's all I'm saying, man. I really, and you're living in the shadow of the system, the papers there yet and stuff. I hope things work out for you, but the little you're doing to survive, the little money you're saving, protect your resources. If you want to go build houses, if you want to start a business, be at the forefront of your businesses, man. They say something in Yoruba. Má jẹ́ kó kọjú ẹ sóhun alẹ́ o. Ọmọ aráyé burú, ọmọ aráyé dájú o. Ìkà lọmọ aráyé o. Wọ́n dájú, wọ́n lóró nínú. Forgive me if you don't understand Yoruba language. All I'm saying is, people are evil. People are cold. Humans are callous. So all I'm saying, for the benefit of those that don't understand Yoruba, right? If you fight them, they will plot to take you out. All right? So, it's your boy Phrankleen. I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Let's keep the conversation going on below. Guide your resources. Don't apply sentiments. Give to your family members in the best possible way you want to, just so you don't spend the end of your life living abroad, biting your fingertips. Thank you for signing in. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for donating. It's your boy Phrankleen. I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye now.